Hey there, my Ruby Gillman fans. It might not be anywhere close to any anniversary or anything noteworthy about the movie, but I still want to talk about it anyway. Now, I do egotistically consider myself to be one of the biggest and most devoted Ruby Gillman fans on the internet. I made multiple hour-long videos defending it and talking about how much I loved it, as well as working on an entire parody animatic with my life as a teenage Kraken, which a lot of people love to repost without my permission or steal assets from it. Yeah, don't think I know who you are. I don't like to name names, and since I did make it to spread awareness and love for the movie, I'm not mad that it gets spread around so much, but if you're gonna use my RO logo, can you at least credit me for it? But enough about that. As I said, I do consider myself to be like one of the big Ruby Gillman fans out there, and I thought I pretty much covered everything noteworthy, especially in my videos. I mean, I had the art book, which I absolutely love, and the physical DVDs with the creator commentary and the extras. I didn't know what else is there. Well, aside from missing a collab with the frozen yogurt company Menchie's, which I haven't heard of when the movie came out, and I'm really mad I missed it. I mean, I did find a store that's relatively close to me, and they released a flavor without the tie-in, but it's not the same. But I missed a really big thing which could have been notable in the videos I've done on it. The fact that Ruby Gillman had a game. What? Yeah, I discovered it through the Kraken Discord server, and it was a bombshell. Now, when I think about a Ruby Gillman game, I imagine it in the same vein as the many licensed game that DreamWorks used to make. They used to make one for literally every movie, like who they'll ask for the B movie to get one. What can you get from freaking B movie? But now they only do it for Trolls as their biggest cash cow. Though I guess it's not entirely absent, as they did release a freaking kart racer recently, which actually got positive reviews. And I would check it out, but I don't see Ruby Gillman in this roster, so why should I give it? But if I was to think of a Ruby Gillman game, I imagine like something of a 3D action platformer exploring Oceanside and other locations that could exist fighting evil sea creatures on land, utilizing Ruby's Kraken powers, and larger ocean segments swimming through the 7 seas, and then having huge one-on-one Mega Kraken fights with colossal oceanic beasts. That would be my dream Ruby Gillman game, but unfortunately if I got what I wanted, well then this channel wouldn't even exist. So no, this isn't a full retail release game to my immense sadness, but it is instead a promotional game found on its website, Race to the Kraken Kingdom. Now I have no idea how the hell I missed this for over a year. I've went through the website before. I only found like some promotional activity books and pictures and such. I didn't notice it, but maybe it was because on the page it looks rather unimpressive and not what the actual game looks like. Like, this doesn't grab you or really tell you anything. It looks like something you would see in Pop Tropica back in the day. It's like literally cut out screenshots from the movie. It's either that or maybe the game wasn't out when I first checked on it. But either way, since the Ruby Gillman site is still up miraculously, the game is too, which is kinda why I want to present this in a prompt manner before it will be taken down. And if you open it, then you get greeted to this page and then the game itself, and wow, it's not like what you'd expect. You would think it would be like some cheap animated PNGs, but no, it's full-blown sprite work that frankly looks amazing. Like, man, this is gorgeous. Fitting for the movie, which is also freaking gorgeous as well. Like, seriously, the sprites are so well detailed and colorful, and looks like they came right out of a Super Nintendo game. And they're animated well too, with a lot of great movement and detail as well. I always love sprite work and pixel art, and this is no exception. Like, look how good Ruby's sprite is in the oceanic backgrounds, and other locations like the Kingdom, the Well of Seas, even the background at night seeing Oceanside. I really want to know who worked on it, like the team who programmed and designed it. I would love to know more. If anyone could give me anything, I'd really appreciate it. The pixel animation style with the promotional nature of the game kinda reminds me a lot of those promotional animations you might see for animated shows like especially Amphibia or some of the Gravity Falls games that also mirror the style. I'm really gotta talk about those one day. Pine's Quest is freaking amazing. But as good as the pixel art and animation is, I need to talk about the gameplay itself. So with a bit of a title screen, it's an auto-scroller. We control Ruby as she swims through the sea. Now, the movement isn't as controllable as you think. It's not some sort of arrow key thing or something like radius. It's something more along the lines of Flappy Bird physics, where you constantly are affected by gravity, so you have to keep clicking to gain upward momentum and stop to go down. It takes a little bit to get used to, but the game is based around it. So you got to really get the physics and controls if you're going to do well, especially in some places. The point of the game is to get to the Kraken Kingdom before Chelsea does. I wonder what she's gonna do there, since it doesn't seem like she has the Trident of Oceanus and can't go all Titan form on it, but hey, maybe she does. However, it's not exactly a race. Chelsea is effectively like your health bar. As long as she doesn't reach the end of the screen, if you get to the end of the level, you'll win, but if she does, then you immediately lose.
The mermaid!
So you gotta make sure that doesn't happen. Chelsea doesn't attack you directly, but instead there's a bunch of obstacles in the sea you need to avoid. Stuff like floating rocks and coral formations. And also jellyfish and starfish who swim around and can hurt you. I guess when Grandma said that Ruby's the guardian of the ocean and its creatures, they meant everyone but those bastards. I guess she's not so excited to see them anymore. I do wonder how they're really supposed to hurt when Ruby should be 100 feet tall in her Mega Kraken form. Well, I guess actually rocks were a bit of a problem for her, so I guess it's canon. Though the size difference between her and Chelsea is a big deal, since in the movie, they can also have to frame shots with the size difference. But even though Ruby's still bigger than her in the game, it's not nearly the same. I guess it's gotta be for the game. I mean, if it was canonically the same size, it would be much more of a problem. There are also larger obstacles like Captain Lighthouse in the first level, where he has his boat and his net covering the entire ocean floor. And it's super hard to get over it with your limited time in the huge hitbox. You have to jump over him just right. He's probably the hardest enemy in the game. There's another one in the second level with the Well of Seas Vortex, but it's a lot easier to leap above the water to avoid it, but it can be a little tough to dodge it and it kind of blends into the background. But you don't just have obstacles, there are some collectible thingies too you can get, like saving Connor from the kelp in the first stage. He keeps reappearing, which is kind of weird in context until you get him. Also, I can't believe I didn't do this joke in either of my videos until now.
Even Connor needs some help when he gets tangled in the cat.
Please put me down.
Also, you can get clearance to save Wiverton in the second level, which is a nice inclusion. Again, these just boost your score, but it's a neat addition to add another collectible thing for every playthrough. But most importantly are the power-ups. Yeah, this game has power-ups that are actually Ruby's Kraken abilities, which like hell yeah, this is the coolest thing ever and exactly what you want from a Teenage Kraken game. So there's 4 in the game, you collect them by touching the icons when they float by, and try to grab them before they go off screen. They include Ruby's most iconic power, her laser eyes, which fire and then destroy every obstacle on screen. Even Captain Lighthouse, yeah, eat shit. Then there's the body armor, which makes Ruby invincible from obstacles for a few seconds. Pretty useful in tight spots, especially in the screen-sized obstacles like Lighthouse or the Well. There's also camouflage, which turns Ruby invisible, while also making her invincible for a few seconds, so it's virtually the same as the body armor power-up. I couldn't notice a difference. And then there's the super speed power-up, which lets you catch up to Chelsea effectively like a full heal, and arguably the most useful. Also, an interesting thing of note with these is if you've noticed, the camouflage and super speed weren't really a thing in the movies, and it was a thing I brought up being mentioned in the first trailer for the movie. So it's interesting that this game includes aspects that weren't in the final version of the movie, so it makes me curious on where in the development this game was first made. But hey, I love these abilities and it makes me wish that they were in the movie as well. I also love the token designs, like they're taken from the glyphs from the movie. I also need to mention the music because it's pretty good for the game and the ending. I wonder if these were like movie assets they were reusing. Well, in that case, I got new background music to use. Too bad it's also filled with voice clips from the movie, which does help to promote it and give a bit of atmosphere and presence, but it can be kind of distracting.
Speed, the ocean is a mysterious world. Body armor, super speed. You have powers beyond your imagination.
Though hearing Ruby's yell is pretty funny when you mess up.
The ocean is a mysterious world.
I just want to live my life.
I love you, Lena Condor. Congratulations on the marriage. Hope you have a happy life. So the game is unfortunately only about a minute or 2 long, but randomly generated to encourage new playthroughs. It's divided in 3 segments: Oceanside in the day, where I have to avoid Lighthouse and save Connor, then at night we're at the Well of Seas, and a fittingly really pretty location, avoiding the giant well and getting clearance, as the final level is weirdly like the afternoon, where most of the obstacles get replaced by these giant glyphs that Grandma showed Ruby are passed with. So it's weird that they're enemies now. They might be the hardest normal obstacle, as there's a lot and they subconsciously make you think they're power-ups. But there's no screen-wide obstacles you have to jump over in this segment, so it's somewhat easier than before. Though, weirdly enough, Grandma seems to have a sprite in the game in the files, but I can't seem to activate her weirdly enough. Can someone explain this? But yeah, keep going and don't take too much damage, and then reach the Kraken Kingdom, and then the game ends presenting the score and asking you to play again. There's also two difficulty options, easy and hard whenever you start, but frankly I haven't really noticed the difference. I think easy gives you somewhat more power-ups, but I don't know. But honestly, I really enjoyed this game. I think it's fun enough to deserve at least one playthrough. My biggest complaint is that I wish it was longer because again, it's only about a minute or so long every playthrough. Even if its score system and random generation encourages new playthroughs to get the highest score. Your score increases the longer you go, and when you get those collectibles and power-ups, it decreases every time you take a hit. So it's a bit addicting in that way, that you keep replaying to get that perfect run if you're lucky enough and the generation goes your way. I only have a few complaints like how Ruby's hitbox is kind of wonky, but luckily it's very forgiving unless you get especially unlucky. And I do feel the transitions between stages are pretty abrupt, but then again it's just a free promotional online game so it's not too big a deal. It looks nice, it's fairly challenging, and it's a lot of fun, and I love that this exists in the first place. And yeah, I can't believe this exists. It doesn't seem like much, and yeah, it is just a short promotional game on the website to advertise the movie when it was gonna come out. But I am so happy to find this game. I'm someone who's literally been clawing over any piece of existing merchandise or content from this movie. I mean, after the art book and the physical DVD set, which I still cherish very much. I thought that was it aside from this one merch giveaway. I'm forever mad that I never won. I mean, I was flabbergasted that DreamWorks actually acknowledged the movie in its 1-year anniversary with the way it's been treated. But the fact that there was a whole online game, and honestly a pretty decent one all things considered, that just slipped completely by me is amazing, and I kind of feel like it's a miracle. I can't believe I missed this piece of Ruby Gillman content, and there's stuff that still exists for it, and I want to share it. I love that this exists, and I really hope it somehow gets archived, like put it on Flashpoint, because when the site inevitably goes down, I need it to be preserved. Like, this is the type of online game I love to revisit and play through every now and then. It should not be lost one day, and it's kind of why I want to make this ASAP. And hey, I hope if the movie gets some big resurgence later on, that some people will use these games' assets to fully develop it, kind of similar to that one Amphibia game or even Pine's Quest got. Like, I'm surprised this wasn't some mobile game endless side-scrollers, and it seems perfect for that, and it seems perfectly ripe for expansion. Anyway, here's my best score, beat that, I freaking dare you. I'm so happy to discover this, and it reignited some of my passion for the movie, and why I love it so much, and now I have this, and I will always cherish it, I need to share. And I hope it's inspired you guys to at least check it out and appreciate it. Not a long video of mine by any means, but it's nice to get reminded of why I made this channel in the first place, and my passion for this great little movie. Now if you excuse me, I gotta go try some of that Menchie's frozen yogurt, since now it's an actual menu item. See you later! Also, I just want to pop up and say that if there's another notable thing that Ruby Gillman has that's worth my attention, please tell me. I'd like to know more about this movie and its production, and anything else made for it. Just make sure that it's like something legitimate and not some speculation or random article, like I need something solid to work with. Thank you.